Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of season 4 of How Can It Be with Allie Johnson and
Kara Johnson. Allie was doing something really cute before the episode started where she was smiling like
it was
this.
like this.
No, it was even more like... Yeah, but anyway, she's looking like a doll and she's really sweet, so...
Thanks, guys. Seriously, I was always hoping to be looking pretty sweet. But my sweetness is not what we're here for, ultimately. We are
And
here
that is so true.
to glorify God in the everyday good, the bad, and the in-between. And so welcome while we do that. Okay? Okay. We start out most of these in a similar fashion.
You got it.
We just do little things. They're called Jesus moments, and we just talk about little ways that we've seen Christ in our life the last week or so. And Kara gets to start, and so Kara's going to start. So go for it.
So for my Jesus moment, I have a prop that is in my hand right now that I'll show you in a second. For those of you who are just listening to the podcast and not watching it, you'll be disappointed. But for those of you who are watching it, you're about to be like so thrilled because I have something really cute in my hand. And you might have a hard time seeing it because...
Hold it up close to your face. Yeah. It's a little duck, you guys.
It's a little baby pink duck.
It's a little tiny baby pink duck.
And it's really cute. So here's the story about this little pink duck. There are about 100 of them around my apartment in random places everywhere right now. No idea who put them there. They're on all of the doorbells of all of the apartments, and they're randomly on the floor and on little windowsills everywhere, okay? And there's different colors. I just chose this pink one because it's really cute.
It is.
And something about it is it has brought serious joy to my roommates and I because we love little tiny things, and this is little and tiny and so incredibly cute. And they're just all over. And here's the thing about it is it's like someone, who knows what their story was, but maybe they were like, here are these adorable little things, let me just go spread some joy to this apartment complex and just like put them all over the place and make people happy.
That's so
And
cute.
I had to share it because joy equals Jesus equals little tiny things in our lives equals Jesus moments are the little tiny things in our lives where we recognize God's hand. And these are little tiny things that brought me joy. So Jesus.
Oh, love it. That's seriously fresh. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course, it was something really small, but just like this little dog, it's small and it's sweet.
That's true. That's super special as well. So thank you so much for showing me.
Yeah, of course. So maybe you can share now.
Okay, I will. So it's a quote.
Someday on this podcast, Allie might share something for her Jesus moment that is not a quote, but that day is not today, and that's fine because the quotes she shares are always really great. So hit it.
Sorry about that, you guys.
He
Here's
does
the
look like
quote.
a girl.
The quote is this: Satan knew my name my whole life, but he called me by sin. Jesus knew my sin, but he called me by my name.
Oh,
So we could end the podcast right now. Don't you think?
no.
Okay.
But I do love that quote.
Oh, okay. I never could have expected she was going to say that. What a surprise. Anyways, I read this quote and I got chills all over my entire body because I think that is one of the tenderest things ever. And kind of spooky a little bit too, that like that is true. Satan does know us. Like, don't you think like you have to be able to identify something to be able to corrupt it?
Yeah.
And I just think that's something I never really thought about. Like the fact that Satan probably is very aware of the beautiful parts of us. And that's why he brings the ugly, because he's jealous. Because his is a name that Christ doesn't call. And I think the very fact that
Bars.
Jesus...
Dropping bars right now.
Thank you so much. The very fact that Jesus identifies each of us and calls us by our name and then immediately after says that we are his is enough to very, very personally and intimately hurt Satan every moment of his existence.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense to me that he would never call us by something that is actively attached to and owned, claimed by the Savior of the world.
Yeah.
And so he calls us by sin. And the thing is, sin has never been so cute or so pretty. But my name is.
Yeah, it is.
It's so pretty.
Allie,
it's like
Wally, Bo Bally.
Right, exactly. It's like super unique. I'm sure you've never heard of it before, like Allie. But the main importance of it is the part that comes after my name. The part that says, I am his. And I think that's why Satan wouldn't dare to utter it. Because every name that's born into this world and born into a body of flesh is his worst nightmare because it's his biggest dream.
Yeah.
So, good riddance to that guy. And all glory to the other one.
And yes. But I think there's something really special in God knowing us individually and knowing our identity as his sons and daughters. And I was listening to a song today on my drive. And it's called... Let's take a look what it's called.
The surprise what it's called.
It's called God of Revival. New Jesus song. I'm going to add it to our Jesus playlist.
Thank you. I'll be listening later.
It's a little beautiful, and it's just kind of talking about how all things are possible. Mountains can be moved. The darkest night can be turned into light. Like, those are the vibes of the song, right?
Yeah, and I'm picking up on those vibes.
Yes. And then it repeats throughout the song, God of Revival. And then it says, death is overcome. Let hope arise. You've already won. God of Revival. Okay?
Wow.
And as I was listening to it, I was like, oh gosh, God of revival, God of hope, God of peace, God of love.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of all of the things that our God is and how we could give him millions of different titles and names and call him our God and our Savior and our friend. And that he does the same for us. That he calls us by our names. And that he knows each one of our individual qualities and traits. And that it's beautiful to really think about who he is and to know him on a personal level like he knows us. And I was also thinking as I was listening to this song, how sometimes my friends will make fun of me because I will often drive in silence. Like, if I have a long drive, an hour away, I will just sit in silence the whole hour long. Did you know this about me?
Okay, somebody put her in a psych ward.
Girl, bear with me right now. Okay?
Yeah, I'm bearing with.
Okay. So sometimes I'll just sit in silence, and I find it, like, incredibly peaceful, and I don't really get bored because I have way too many things going on in my head at all times. Or I just look outside and think about the world. And often in those, like, drives or silent times that, like, other moments in our lives we rarely get just moments of silence, I will often, like, find myself out loud praying and talking, just like chatting with God. And there are other times that I'll play gospel music, or there are other times that I'll play some other random music, love country music too. But that I was thinking, like, I can listen to this gospel music and I can really like take in the lyrics of this song and be like, yes, that is my. I just used my
That
little
is
duck that I've been
your
playing
little
with in my
duck.
in my hands to smack that on the table like a gavel. Because yes,
Mhm.
that is my God of revival, you know?
Mhm.
And like internalize the lyrics of these songs. And that in that way I can feel close with God and be thinking about him and make him a presence in my day. But other times, in the silence, I find peace and I find strength in that as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so interesting to me that I can find such strength and peace and comfort in complete silence. And I can find that strength and peace and comfort with music.
Yeah.
And with those good vibes as well. And I was like, just like pondering on it. And I was like, I think that the main thing is not necessarily whether or not there's noise or silence in our lives, but if there is noise, what is the noise about? Like more of like a not quantity but like quality kind of vibes, you know?
So true. Yeah.
And so obviously if I'm like screaming to some rap song, I mean, it's going to be like a little trickier. I'm not necessarily going to be like totally feeling like Jesus is right there on my shoulder, you know?
Right. And there's a
And
time
it's
and a
not, yeah, I'm
place.
not
And there
saying rap
really
songs are
is.
bad.
Right.
We love everything.
Yeah.
We love it all. But in those moments that I really want to connect with God and feel him, we can do it no matter where we are and no matter what's going on. But it's easier when we actively invite him and when we actively are thinking about him or listening to messages about him or talking to him.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome that he knows us, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's like, I think it's cool that that situation can be true for you, and it could be somebody else's nightmare to be in a car ride forever silent, or maybe even listening to worship music the whole time. That could be somebody's nightmare.
No,
you know?
for sure. Yeah.
And that's the thing though, is God doesn't say that that's the end all be all to
The
making
only
it back to
answer.
be with
No,
him.
for sure.
But I think that's what's awesome, is that there's different ways to invite him into your life. And maybe for him, he knows, like, actually not maybe, but definitely, he knows exactly what effort is going to look like and what our intention is behind all the effort that we put forth into having a relationship with him. And so don't feel like because you're not doing the exact same thing that Kara is, that doesn't mean you're making enough time for him or you're being silent enough for him. Like, the wonderful part about it is he will find a way into your life if you have the intention for him to be involved in your life. And if you invite him into your life, then he will sneak into your life throughout the day. It's just like what we talked about in a few episodes ago. But like when you shine a flashlight into somebody's eyes, whether they want it or not, the next few blinks that they take, and maybe even the next flinch that they have, they will continue to see that light that was flashed into their eyes. And I think that's the same promise that's way less painful and way less annoying that we can experience with God.
Yeah.
The minute that we wake up and we shine that light into our hearts, it is a guaranteed promise to us that we will be able to close our eyes and find him again.
Yeah.
In whatever moments that we choose to look for him. And that's the other great thing about it, is we all have the option to increase our encounters with God based off of the amount of times that we close our eyes and look for him.
For sure. Yeah.
And also open our eyes and look for him.
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely true. And I'm glad you pointed it out, because it's true. Like maybe for me,
Yeah,
it's easier for me to feel connected to God if I am sitting alone in my car or listening to worship music or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that random times throughout the day I don't be like, oh my gosh, this duck reminds me of God.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And I'm sure if you just invite him in different ways, like that, I mean, we look for and make connections to Christ in like the most random things that happen throughout our week, you know?
Yeah.
And so you can find God in rap music if you want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's just a good point to point out. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different relationship with God, and God knows us each individually enough to know how to touch us and is always there when we need him.
Don't I know it?
Man.
That's so great to hear, girl.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, basically, it's really good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good, and he's really good,
I
and
love him.
yeah, I've always been good friends with him, and he's always been a friend of mine, kind of a thing, so.
And I'm sorry about the way we talk sometimes. Could get annoying.
I'm not so sorry. So, you know, that's just kind of like us balancing each other out in that way.
So true.
It's so, so sweet. Anyways, I have minimal things to say.
That's fine.
Because I love the messages that were shared today. So I think like we'll wrap it up at a time like this and we'll just kind of say like, make sure that you talk about this sweet guy that we're like super blessed to like know and love. His name's Jesus Christ.
Make sure to talk about him. And
did you know
in
that
him.
he actually did die for you?
Did you know that he loves you?
He died for you that you might live. That's the truth.
Oh, man.
So talk about him. Make him actually something called an everyday topic.
Oh, we can do that.
And look for the light, okay? Because
Look
once
for
you
the
invite
little
it in, you're
duckies.
going to be able to see it. All right. All right. Okay, we love you like he loves you more. Like, we'll see you next week.
Toodles.
Bye.
Bye.